Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new edition of Message of Hope. And today I have the pleasure to be with Susan Han Ills, who is in lovely England today, and or UK, as they like to say that, and to talk to us about how this having this understanding. Well, first, welcome, Susan.
Thank you. It's great
Sue,
to be here.
and yeah, thank you for agreeing to do this in this holiday time. And um, and yes, I'm going to ask you the same question that I've been asking. Is that all this having this understanding, this three principle understanding? Because we met through clarity with Jamie Smart,
Mhm,
and
we did.
so how does having this understanding, how does that help you? Um, Navigate whatever stress or COVID or lockdown or whatever shows up in your life.
I think the biggest impact it's had is knowing that I'll always be okay.
Mm.
And the second one, which is really closely follows that, is I do get down days when I forget. In England, the UK at the moment, I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's what's the time now? In here, we're 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. in the afternoon here, and it's nearly dark, and the days are really short. And because of the lockdowns, I haven't seen friends. I haven't been able to do the things I normally love, like go out for coffee. And so when I get lost in that thought and those low moods for periods of time, not days, usually maybe a few hours, I come out of them so much more quickly because then something will happen. I don't know, maybe I'll read an inspirational book or something, and then I'll realize, oh, 1 minute you were really fed up, and now you're not, and then it all comes back to me knowing that I'm okay, and it's only my own the thoughts in my head most of the time that overtake me that's causing it. So yeah, I think that probably is the biggest impact.
Oh, thank you. And I know I forgot to tell everybody that you have a care business and also you have a new business called Zenith Women. So because you're with the caring business, having this understanding must help you with your charge or your client patients, whatever you call them.
Yeah, it's I don't have so much contact with directly with my clients, but I obviously do have the team, and at the moment they're all working from home, so we are all doing this on Zoom.
Mm,
And what my role is, or as I see my role of particularly in having this understanding, is to quote unquote manage the emotions of the staff because it can be very draining. We have our care workers having to do tests regularly, and then if they're positive, they have to socially isolate. Then the staff have to find carers to go in place, and it's very, very tough. And sometimes the meetings can feel quite draining. So my role in that and knowing this understanding and is to somehow try to bring the equilibrium that I feel across the waves of Zoom, if you like, into each and everybody's hearts and every member of the team. So yeah, that's definitely helped me because I've been asked by the team, how do you manage to stay so upbeat?
mm.
And I don't want to give false happy smiles. I explain how I do feel sometimes, but I also explain that in the best way I can for somebody that hasn't been open to it or hasn't seen it or understood it or heard of it, to talk about thought, because most people will understand what you mean when you say thought.
That's beautiful because as we're all connected, your calmness must more than likely have a positive impact on your employees.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, Martine. Yes, I'd like to think so. And what I do deliberately before the team meetings is I do sit quietly and I may listen to a bit of Sid Banks or read something just as a reminder for me because otherwise it's quite easy, including me, get lost in thought. People start moaning, or they can't cover calls, or somebody's done this or that or the other, and before I know it, I'm caught up in my head. So yeah, but simply knowing it, and constantly, I think, returning to listening and reading things around it, because even though once you know something, or once I know something, I can't unknow it, I can forget it.
But I think it's normal that we forget it. That we get caught up in the illusion. But like you beautifully said, you don't get caught up for so long.
No, I think that's absolutely it. It's quite, sometimes a little bit longer, but nowhere near how I used to be. Nowhere near. And yeah, far more up days than down days. Yeah.
And you have this beautiful project called Zenith Women.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, that's interesting, because although it's not directly linked to COVID, the voice inside my head, that little voice within, became stronger during the beginning of COVID, during around March time. And I almost heard a voice that actually said, we need more wise women. We need more wise women and the values of feminine wisdom in the world today. And I'd already been talking about, as I use in English terms, Zenith women, so forgive me.
Sorry.
I'd always...
My defense, no, English is not my first language.
No, I've got many American friends, and they all call it Zenith. They didn't know what I was speaking about when I was saying Zenith. So I'd already had the concept in my mind, but there was a shift when COVID started, and I really wanted to, it gave me the chance to really start to focus on what I wanted. And the core part of it is to inspire and empower. I use the word aspirational older women, because not everybody. And older, what does that mean? When you don't feel young anymore, but you're not old. And often that's when your children maybe have grown up, maybe you've lost a parent, maybe you've had a milestone birthday, but you suddenly have this desire, or you've long held this desire, to do something more meaningful, more significant, to change your life and your world in some way. And yeah, and I knew that I didn't want to do this alone. This is about creating a community, providing products and services, having partners, collaborators with me to provide a platform for women who want to do this, and not to marginalize us either as society. Even though we've moved a long way, I still believe that if you have a 5 in front of your age and you're applying for a job, for many people, you don't even get a look in. So there's a little bit of a political rant as well in the mix of it all.
Oh, but that's beautiful. Well,
thank you.
Thank you for your time, Sue. And if people want to know more about this project, or how can they find you? Where can they find you?
So my social media is or my Google name is Susan Ann without an E Hills, or people can email me susanannhills@me.com.
Well, thank you for your time, Sue.
No, thank you, Martine. It's been a pleasure.
And good luck with your project.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'll keep you posted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.